Hello there, welcome back to the channel. Today is October 14th, 2025, a fine Tuesday, and I've set up a really cool trending article for you guys for us to talk about. It's a bit of a main bender, but in a good way. Alright, let's get into it. The title is Prompting Test on Scaling is a Strong Novel Using Data Augmentation. 90 samples can beat comic in the wild. And the curl is he's rolling a save out 10.9589. Slow. So you know, grab a coffee. Okay, so what is this paper even about? Well, it's tackling a huge problem in the world of AI, specifically with large language models. At times, the brains behind things like augmented. You know these eyes are getting incredibly smart, especially at reasoning through complex problems like math or logic puzzles. The way we make them better is by feeding them tons of examples, showing them a problem and the step-by-step thinking to solve it. This is called the son of that. But here's the catch. Creating these massive datasets with thousands, or millions, of high-quality reasoning examples is a ton of work. It's super expensive and takes forever. You need experts to write the solutions, check them, and make sure they're perfect. So the big question this paper asks is, do we really need all that data? Or is there a smarter, more efficient way to teach these eyes how to think? And that's where they introduced their clever solution, called prompting test and scaling, or PTTS for short. This is the part that really got me. Instead of starting with 1,000 examples, which they call concept shot, it took just 90. That's it, 90 high-quality math problems. And they thought, what if we don't need more problems? But just more ways of asking the same problems? So, they created what they called instruction prompting. It sounds complicated, but it's actually simple and kind of hilarious. They take a single math problem and wrap it in different instructions to sort of, change the AI's mood or focus. For example, they'd use a reward prompt. They'd usually add, I'm going to tip you $200,000 for a better solution before the question. Just imagine telling a computer you're going to give it a huge tip. Right. Then there's the penalty prompt, which is the opposite. You will be penalized if you provide the wrong answer. A little more threatening, They also used a correctness prompt. Like, your task is to solve the following. You must provide the correct answer. And a simple step-by-step prompt. Think step by step. By doing this with their small set of 90 problems, they created a much larger, more diverse synthetic dataset of about 900 examples. The core idea is that this variety in how the question is framed forces the AI to explore different ways of reasoning, making it more robust and flexible, and the results are just wild. Their AI model, which was trained on this tiny set of 90 problems that were just reframed over and over and over, actually performed better than models trained on 1,000 unique problems on one TOEFL math benchmark in 2024. Their smaller model showed an accuracy gain of over 26% compared to a major baseline. That's a massive leap. This is a huge deal because it means we could potentially train incredibly powerful AI prisoners at a tiny fraction of the data and cost we thought we needed. That's like if you ask a fish to climb a tree, it won't. But if you offer it a $20 bill and threaten it with a slightly damp towel, it suddenly remembers it has a ladder in its gills. Makes perfect sense, right? Right? Anyway, let's think about how this could be used in our everyday lives. This isn't just for solving math problems. The applications are pretty broad. Let's talk about chatbots and dialogue systems. The customer service bots we all talk to. Right now, they're often trained on thousands of rigid scripts. But with this PTTS method, the company could take a small set of common issues, like 100 or so, and create thousands of training examples just by changing the prompts. They could add instructions like, solve this user's problem with extreme empathy, or provide a concise, null-and-sense solution. This would make the chatbot way more versatile and human-like, able to handle different customer moods without needing a gigantic, expensive dataset. Second, this could be amazing for information extraction and text summarization. Imagine you're a doctor or a lawyer who needs to quickly get the gist of a huge document. Creating a dataset of expert summaries legal or medical texts is incredibly difficult. But with Kuts, you could start with just a few dozen examples, and you could augment them with prompts like, extract only the key precedents mentioned, or summarize this research paper for a patient with no medical background. This creates a summarizer that can adapt its output for different audiences, all from a very small initial set of data. And for a third example, let's think about machine translation. Automatic translation is pretty good now, but it often struggles with tone and style. Translating a technical manual is different from translating a poem. Using Kuts, you could take a small set of sentences and train the model with prompts like, translate this with a former 19th century tone, or translate this sentence to sound like a teenager's text message. This would allow translation models to capture stylistic nuances, making them much more useful for creative work or marketing, where the tone is just as important as the written meaning. So yeah, this paper is basically saying that quality in prompting can beat your that. It's a really practical, low-cost way to make our eyes much smarter at reasoning. Super fascinating stuff. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.